When it comes to making custom plaques, we can literally make them out of any material you can imagine. In this case here, it's a solid hardwood maple, and it's laser engraved. The nice thing about laser engraving is that you have the built-in contrast. If we were to do this with a CNC router, which we have as well, which we'll see shortly actually, this stuff here would have just been the same color as the maple because there's no heating or no charcoal production. So that means there's a secondary process which includes paint filling. So that adds extra costs and also adds extra time to produce the finished one. The nice thing I like about charcoal is that because it's actually the wood itself, there's nothing to peel, fade, or crack, or peel, or come off. It's just part of the wood itself that provides the contrast. Now the nice thing about having a jointer is that I'm able to flatten some pieces of wood. In this case here, this piece was too big and it was warped kind of like a weird sort of thing. So I like to use my 5x10 foot router, and what that does is the most amazing jointer in the world. And what it does is make the wood flat and parallel, as you can see here. I did obviously lose some material on the top and the bottom, but that's fine because it was warped anyways. If you looked at the video you saw that there was a bit of a warp going this way and a bit of a warp this way, but there's also a twist in the wood as well. So that's what I like using the router for, because it solves all of those problems in one shot. It gives me something flat. I need something flat for the laser because the laser is affected by not only the density of the material, so with the kiln dried maple, you have some different densities of material, so different depth of engraving, but more importantly, when you have something that's not straight, you also have different focusing angles. So that gets rid of the focusing issues, because if something's closer or less close to the laser beam, there's a different result on the wood. when it comes to the design elements you can have on this, they're pretty much endless. In this case here, we just laser engraved the surface of it. So that means literally any design, any font, any sort of imagery works perfect for this. You want to notice that there's high contrast, as you can see here. So some people send me some muddied images or logos that are too small or jagged or that kind of stuff. The problem with that is that if it's not black and white, you can't have a really good laser engraving because the lasers are either on or off. There's no sort of middle ground because if you're just using a little bit of laser power, well, you're producing charcoal. If you're not using any laser power, then you just have the normal surface. So that's something you want to keep in mind. So send me as high resolution version of your logo as possible. When it comes to actual production of these, I always keep some live edge here in the shop. In this case here, the customer needed it done and shipped, pretty fast. And that's not an issue at all because I already have the live edge in the shop. We have lots of different live edge. We have oak, we have, sycamore. In this case here, it's maple, hard maple. But if you want something different like corian, we could do that just as easily. So contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make the plaque for you and ship it right to your door.